everybody, to the JR Wisdom channel. I want to thank you all for returning. All you new viewers, thanks for tuning in. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. That way you can get all my updates. Hit the bell as well, and hopefully you find something that you like. Just jump right into it. Today I'm going to be discussing a all too familiar topic. Some of you may be familiar with it. Some of you maybe have even been caught up in this situation. You know, whether you be the man or the woman that have done this. And I call this with trying to make your man jealous with another man goes wrong. Now, this concept probably has been going on since the beginning of time. I talk about this a lot, how, you know, women tend to, or some women tend to try to make men jealous. Men don't tend to do that. Men tend to do things and they try not to anger or upset their wife, girlfriend, whatever. It's not in a man's nature, unless he's just a punk, to try and make a woman jealous. Women try to make other women jealous. Men, if you're trying to make anybody jealous, you need to check yourself, you know, check your sexuality at the end of the day. But this is not a quality of a man in general to do this. So this comes along with entertainment. You know, the relationship that you're in with someone should be between you two. But we find that whether the attention is no longer there, or someone's being taken for granted, ingratitude, things like that, it tends to come into these relationships where someone feels like they're not being appreciated. So therefore, they entertain someone else strictly to make their significant other, in this case the boyfriend, jealous. Sometimes this is done a lot of times in an attempt to make the boyfriend husband act right, so to speak, act right, or get back on the right path to treating her in a way that's more befitting of her. This makes no sense. This is a very dangerous act to do, as a lot of people have passed away and met untimely demises because of this situation. This is obviously done in a dysfunctional way, from a dysfunctional perspective, and it's very dangerous. And I wouldn't recommend it for anybody, whether you're the woman that's doing this to make a man jealous, or if you're a man that consciously knows that you're dealing with a woman who is in a relationship or even married. But once again, as I always talk, you have simps that do this, or you just have men who do this just because they don't care, you know. So another thing I tend to see is that some women love to see, I keep saying women, but some women love to see men fight over them. This gives them a sense of worth and self-importance. And it's designed to trigger an emotional reaction out of the man, so that she can see that this man really cares about her. And many times this can lead to destruction and or death, or someone going to jail, or someone really getting hurt, beat up, stabbed, shot. All these things happen because of the ego of a particular woman who does these things. And there's a lot of men in their grave right now that can't tell the tale, or in jail, just feeling like an idiot. Meanwhile, the woman is either with her husband or with the side guy. And they're looking like an idiot in their grave or in jail. So some women will do it to test the waters, just to see. Like I said, this is all about testing the waters. You know, making a man jealous is the goal. So this is very common. It happens to a lot of guys. You know, if this is happening to you, you need to check the type of dude that you're dealing with. So as far as one of my tales, I have a story I like to tell you guys. one of the tales of wisdom, so to speak. This something similar like this happened to me a few years ago. I started talking to this college girl. I met. Well, first of all, I just back up the way I met her. So I think it's a funny story, because I just thought I was just so cool and debonair and all that good stuff. So I was in like a bar or lounge, and I had a cheap ass bottle of was it Verde, Verde, Verde champagne, whatever it is. I bought a little cheap bottle in there, and I was out with some friends, and we was just drinking in there, and I seen two ladies sitting there. So I decided to walk over and introduce myself to her and approach this young lady, beautiful young lady. Decided and started to talk to her. When I brought the bottle over, I brought her own wine glass as well, and I asked her could I keep her company. She was like sure. So I hit her with the old. If any of y'all have seen that movie, Two Can Play That Game, or whatever, I think that's the name of the movie with Morris Chestnut and Vivica Fox. There's a scene where he meets her in a bar or a club, and he, asks her, can he ask her some questions? I'm gonna try to find that clip and post the link in the description so y'all can check that video out as well, so you can see what I'm talking about. So basically, I asked her, could I ask her some questions? And she was like, sure. So I was like, do you? I basically copied what he said, just to try it out, just to see how stupid. It's real stupid to do this, but I thought it was real cool how he did it. So I said, let me try this out. Maybe she might not even catch it. So I was like, do you like chocolate? And she was like, yes. And I said, do you think I find you attractive? She said, yes. I said, if I kissed you, would you slap me? She said, yes. And I asked her, I said, do you find me attractive? And she said, yes. So I was like, okay. So I introduced myself and we started talking. I know I just wanted to tell that story because it was kind of funny, but we started talking. So we talked that night. We had some drinks. We exchanged numbers or whatever. And we went on a couple of dates, went out to eat, went to a club, went dancing, stuff like that. And then I think one day we went to movies. Me and my partner of mine and her roommate, we all went to the movies one day. We went to watch a movie, and then we parted ways. And basically, she invited me to her apartment that night. And while we're talking, just to let y'all know, she said she had a boyfriend, but the boyfriend wasn't, they weren't really on it like that or whatever. So I didn't really think anything of it. So she invited me to her apartment, and I came over there with with a bottle of wine, and we're talking, and I get over there, and when she invites me and she goes in the room, so I'm like, okay, and this is late at night, so I'm like, okay, at a certain hour, there's certain events that are supposed to take place, correct? So we're getting to that point, and all of a sudden she says, either her boyfriend or her phone rings, excuse me, and someone's calling and she's talking to him, and she gets off the phone, and I'm like, oh, who is that? She was like, oh, that was my boyfriend. I was like, what are you talking about, your boyfriend? And she's like, yeah, he's out playing spades right now, don't worry about it. And I said, so what happens when he's done playing spades? She's like, oh yeah, he might come over. I was like, what are you talking about, he might come over? She's like, yeah, I think he's going to come over after this. And then I was like, okay. I was like, I don't think this is the move. I said, I think I need to be getting up out of here. She's like, what, are you scared or something? With a smile on her face. I'm like, it's not about being scared. It's about certain things happen in a position like that when you have a boyfriend right now, as of now, and he comes home or he comes to your apartment, or you didn't tell him, or even if you said something like, hey, it's not a good night to come over, he's going to come over anyway out of curiosity. So she's just like, oh, you're scared. I was like, yo, I don't have time for this or whatever. I said, man, let me get up out of here. So as I'm walking out of the place, like I'm walking out, because she's in like she's staying on the second floor or third floor of the apartments. As I'm walking down, this guy is walking past me. So I'm just looking like, and I go, and I nod to him like that. And I just go walking downstairs. I get in my car, and I'm just like, yo, what is going? Why is stuff like this always happening? This is ridiculous. So oh snap. So needless to say, that issue basically was a dead issue. And she texted me like the next day saying, I don't think it's a good idea for me to text you anymore. I think me and my boyfriend are gonna get back together. All this stuff like that. So I was just like, yo, good, cool, have a good life. She wasn't playing with a full deck anyway. I think one night I after a while I wasn't talking to her, and she asked me if I could meet her at this club one night, and I went to walk in the club. She said she was already in there, and she kept texting. I knew something was funny because she kept texting me saying, "Are you there? Are you there? Are you there?" So me and my friend, we went to the club, and as we're walking in the club, she's sitting. Well, we see a light flash, and then we look back, and we just see some girls in the car. We didn't think nothing of it. Nobody said anything. So we walked in the club. I'm like, I call her up. I'm like, where are you at? I don't see you in here. She's like, oh, I'm in there. Da, da, da. So the light bulb went off in my head. That was them in the car that flashed the light. I walked right outside of the club, walked right towards the car. I see a head go down. She's sitting in the back seat of the little, whatever, neon, whatever it is, with her head down. And I'm just like, what are you doing? Is it like, what is this? And I think this is during a spring break or something like that. And I just, she was like, oh, just go inside and get me a drink. I'll be in there in a few. And I'm just like, yo, let's get out of here. So we got up out of there and left. So needless to say, she was an immature, younger girl. Watch out for that, fellas. When you can notice a lot of these signs for these women who aren't playing with a full deck, or who are just immature, or who just wants to play around and stuff like that. So beware of that. Make your intentions clear, men and women. You're playing a dangerous game when you're trying to bring a third party in to inspire jealousy within someone. As I said on one of my other videos about, same thing happened. Even though me and my ex-wife weren't together, we were still married. She brought another man to my son's football game in order to basically antagonize me or to anger me, and to a certain extent to cause some sort of fight, so to speak. So she did this for that purpose, and the man was all for it, like an idiot, So I just encourage you, don't participate. Don't let anybody trick you out of your position, especially if there's a woman that's doing this to you. If he's a man, if you're dealing with a man that's doing this, then he's just a sucker, and he's very feminine in his behavior. So, be aware of that, and that's all I wanted to say about that. I want to give you all a quick story on that. Anytime you try to make another person jealous that you're with, it's always going to end up going wrong. So just keep that in mind. Yo, like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure y'all comment, of course. I want to hear y'all thoughts and opinions on this. Just if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button along with the bell. Like the video right now at this point if you like the content. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. It's not going to take any years away from your life. Share the video as well if you have time. If you feeling even more giving, throw a couple coins in the well of wisdom. The link is in the description. Follow me on social media. Links are all in the description, as well as Amazon. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. And don't forget, anything lost can be found again, except for time wasted. Peace.